Hello bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. This is the start of another reading vlog. As you can see, I'm not at home right now. I am camping for my birthday. Today is actually my birthday, October 12th, and I'm just looking forward to having a really relaxing week out in nature. So today is Monday, and I believe I ended my last vlog on last Thursday. So I haven't had a whole lot of reading time, especially, the past few days leading up to the trip. I was just getting ready to go on the trip, but I have a few things to update you on. So in my last vlog, I talked about Edge Dancer. I was about 3/4 of the way through that. I have since finished it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it about 4 stars. I mean, maybe 4.5, but I rounded down to 4. It's just, again, so short that I didn't really feel like I could give it 5 stars, but I really enjoyed it. I like the character Lift a lot. I can see why she's annoying. She is kind of ridiculous, but I think she's hilarious, and I love, love, love her friend Wendell and their interaction with each other. They have great banter. I think all of the Spren have great banter with their people. There's people walking by. The other book that I was currently reading at the end of my last clip was Teeth in the Mist. I brought it camping with me, and I read a little bit of it last night. And I gotta say, being out in the woods in the dark while reading this and listening to the audiobook is quite creepy, so I'm super excited about it. I am now this far. I've read this much, which is page 243. And I'm still enjoying it. Still not really sure what's going on, but there's definitely been some creepy things happening. And it's just like, it's a bit chaotic, but I think that it's like that on purpose. Like, I think you're supposed to, like, there's not really a sense of, like, a timeline. It's more like snapshots of things, which I think is honestly pretty common in a lot of horror books, because I think it adds to this sense of, like, unease because you don't really know what's going on. I don't know. But enjoying this, and I'm planning to finish this before we leave. I don't know about you guys, but I packed way too many books because, I mean, what kind of bookworm doesn't overpack books when they go on a vacation? And then a book that I started just last night was Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, and I'm planning to read, I'm hoping to read like half of this while I'm here. I want to finish this in October if I can, so that I am super ready when Rhythm of War comes out in November. I am about 7% in, page 90. I've read this much, which is so little out of the whole book, but I am attempting to do another book diary for this. I'm thinking to do this in 5 parts, so 1 video for each part of the book, because the book itself is split into 5 parts with little interludes in between the parts. So I think I'm going to do that for this book, like in its entirety, which is exciting. Not a whole lot to say about it yet, other than it's been fun and I'm already having like so many emotions. And I did bring a library copy of this. I do own a paperback copy. My friend Elliot was super nice and sent me that paperback as a birthday present, but I did not want to bring my precious paperback out camping. So I went and got this one from the library so that it can get a little bit beat up. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but I always bring library books when I go camping because I don't want the ones that I own to get all beat up from going camping. And then I have actually started one more book. So my husband, who is not really a reader, I've gotten him to read a few things recently. He recently read Dark Matter. You guys might have noticed that I took that back to the library recently. It's because he read it and he really enjoyed it. And then I also had when I was reading Scythe, I had been telling him about the overarching plot and world of Scythe, and he thought it sounded interesting. So last week, maybe the week before, he read Scythe within a matter of 4 or 5 days. And so we decided we're going to do a buddy read of Thunderhead. This was not what I was planning to pick up next, but because he was starting it and we're going to be camping together, we decided to read it together. We listened to an hour and a half of the audiobook on the way here. So we are on chapter 8, 66 pages, read this much. We're going to try to just listen to the audiobook together at various times while we're camping. So I don't know if I'll finish this while we're here. We actually have some friends coming to visit one night, and then the next night my sister and her boyfriend are going to come visit. So when we have guests, we probably won't be listening to this, and it'll only leave a couple of days where we'll be alone. So I don't know if we'll get this finished, but hopefully make decent progress in this. And then because I felt like I needed to, I brought 2 more books. I'm not sure if I'll get to them, but the other books that I'm considering reading on this trip are Fledgling by Octavia Butler, which is like a vampire story that I'm excited about, and Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. These are both books that I really want to read in October, so I went ahead and brought them on the trip just in case I was able to squeeze them in. I don't think that I definitely won't get to both of them. If anything, I'll start one of them, but I don't think I'll even finish one. But I wanted to have choices, so I brought them both. Alright, so that's my reading update. I think I'm going to give you guys a quick little tour of the campsite. I mean, there's really not much to see, but I thought I would go ahead and do that. So when we go camping, at least the last couple times, we've done these screen shelter things, which has been really convenient. We just bring cots and then we can put all our food and stuff inside. So over here we have the driveway. So the road is over there. We drive and park right here. And then you have this screen shelter. So this is the door right here. And then let's see if the lighting will adjust on the camera. It's kind of dim in here, but okay, there we go. So let me turn this around. We have cots. One for me, mine's the air mattress one because I like to camp in comfort. My husband has a regular cot, so that's where we sleep. We have our ice chest and table over there in the corner for food. Where's my finger? And then we have all the rest of this space just with our camping gear and things. It's kind of messy and all spread out. We definitely brought a fan to make sure that we don't get too hot, although yesterday was the hottest day, so I don't think that we'll get hot the rest of the time, but we'll see. We also brought a bug zapper that we use at night so it can zap all the mosquitoes when we sleep. So we're not super rough campers. We're kind of glampy. We have electricity, we have water. Let me show you the outside now. I don't know if any of you guys like to play disc golf, but my husband really does. The brightness. And so that's actually what he's doing right now. There's a disc golf course 45 minutes from here, so he went with his friends, but he also brought this portable disc golf basket for him to practice sometimes, which is fun. And then for this trip, we bought a couple hammocks. Our last camping trip, my sister let me borrow a hammock that she has. So this time we bought 2 hammocks, one for each of us. So mine is the pink one, which I think is super cute. It's got leaves in it right now. It's super comfy. I love laying in the hammock and reading. And then there's another hammock back there for my husband. These are our camping chairs. This is mine. It reclines, which I love. Let's see if I can do it. I love just laying back like this, looking up at the sky and reading right here. And it comes with this little table on the side for me to put drinks and stuff. That chair is my husband's chair. And then over there is the fire pit. And that's basically our campsite. There is a lake, you can kind of see there's water back there. So that's a lake, and there's a path that goes around the lake, and we can walk to the path it's right off of our campsite, which is one of the reasons why we like this exact shelter. We've stayed in this one before. The only thing that sucks is that it's kind of far from the bathroom, so sometimes we drive to the bathroom because we're lazy. Right now I don't have the car because Justin went to go play disc golf, so I've been walking. It's a 15-minute walk. It's not that bad, but it is far in the middle of the night in the dark, so we definitely drive then. Anyways, this has been a long clip. I will keep you guys updated on what I read for the rest of the week. Bye. I'm just hanging out in my hammock, reading Oathbringer. I'm only 7% in, but it's so good. Guys, I'm sitting here reading Oathbringer. I just put the book down, that's why it's upside down. But there's a blue jay. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it. Do you see it? It's right there. It's a blue jay. So cool. Say hello to my little friend that's going to have to move so I can get in my hammock. Hi, little friend. I don't know why my voice just cracked. Hi, little friend. Hey guys, so I am back from vacation. Sadly, today is Monday and I had to go back to work, but I had a really great vacation. I hope you guys had fun coming along with me. I've already started editing my daily life clips or whatever from being out in the woods and stuff, and I'm so in love with this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did not read as much as I thought I would. I always kind of overestimate what I can get done, but it was also partially because we had guests for a little less than half the trip, and of course I wasn't reading quite as much when we had guests. I will start by saying that I finished reading Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Curtigage. I finished this on the last night that we were camping. I was reading by the campfire. I was listening to the audiobook while reading this at the same time, which is definitely what I recommend because there are some really interesting formatting things that happen. And I also thought it was really interesting in the audiobook, they would leave out certain things that were written, things that describe how something was said. They wouldn't say it, because they're already acting it out. And I just thought that was really interesting. Like, for example, if the text said, she gasped, instead of reading she gasped, the person narrating the book would just make a gasping sound. And it was just really interesting to read along with it and picking up on the things that the narrators weren't reading. But on top of that, there's definitely some really interesting formatting things going on that were a lot of fun to look at. Sadly, this book disappointed me just a little. I don't think it tied up quite as nicely or made as much sense in the end as I would have liked. I think in my last check-in I was talking about how it was a little confusing, but I think that kind of added to the spooky atmosphere. It kind of feels a little disjointed and there's not really a good sense of a timeline. And I do think that a lot of that was on purpose, but I wish that it had tied together a little better. Things started to add up and start making sense around the 75% mark, and the last quarter was quite good, especially because I had a better understanding of what exactly was happening. But still, at the end, it didn't quite like add up as much as I wanted. I actually need to go back and like skim read the last section again, because there's like only one thing about the ending that I really remember, and I'm kind of confused about what happened with another like part of the story because I just don't remember. I was reading this kind of late at night, but I have to say, reading this while camping outside, like literally by the campfire with bug sounds around me and everything, was such an experience. And I mean, the audiobook for this definitely has like demonic voices and creepy sounds, and the atmosphere was so good. I was really torn between giving this a 4 and a 5 because I did really enjoy my experience with it, but I did find the ending just a tad disappointing. I remember when I read Don Kurtigich's other book that I've read, And the Trees Crept In, I really liked that ending because I thought it explained everything and everything just made sense. But I know my friend Rachel thought that ending was a little too like well tied up, which I thought was interesting, but I thought that this one, I wish it had been tied up a little bit better. And there's also like an element to the ending that's a little bit open-ended. I don't know if she was trying to leave it open-ended for a sequel, or if it's just something that you're supposed to like wonder what happens next or whatever, but I don't love open endings, so I loved a lot about this book. I wish it made a little more sense to me, and like I kind of wish that when I started being able to connect the dots started happening at the 50% mark instead of the 75% mark, and that I could have spent more time with the book actually knowing what was happening. But I love the atmosphere. I love the characters that Don Kurtigich created, and I thought it was really interesting. So definitely one that I really enjoyed. The other like main book I was reading while camping was Oathbringer. I really thought I would get through more of this than I did. I mean, I got through a lot of it. I am now on page 376. I've read this much. It's about 30% in. And I'm definitely really enjoying my time reading this book. It is a little more slower paced, I think, than Words of Radiance, which I had known, but I am a huge Dalinar fan, so I'm really enjoying, might not be the right word, but I'm intrigued by his flashbacks in this book, and there have just been some interesting things happening that I'm excited to see how they go. But I really need to pick up the pace on this one because I want to get this one done in October. And then the last book that I have been reading is Thunderhead, the lighting, is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. I am buddy reading this with my husband, and we are on page 200. I've read this much, which I believe is like 39%. I just updated my Goodreads, and I'm really enjoying this. It's been a lot of fun buddy reading this with my husband because I'm pretty sure I mentioned, like, he's not really a reader, so we've literally never buddy read anything together before, but I got him to read Scythe, and he really liked it, and I got him to read Dark Matter before that, and so I am stoked that we're reading this together. We're listening to the audiobook mostly, and it's just fun to, like, be able to have commentary as the narrator is, narrating. I'll be like, oh, that was so dumb, or whatever. It's fun to have like speak commentary out loud and have someone sitting there who can respond, because usually I'm just talking to myself when I do that when I'm listening to audiobooks. So definitely having a lot of fun reading this one, and hopefully I finish it soon. Needless to say, I did not even start the other two like backup books that I brought on my trip because I only finished one book. But I still had a ton of fun while I was camping, and I'm so happy with the amount of reading that I got done. I just love reading in nature. Laying on my hammock during the week while I was reading was like my favorite thing. It is my happy place, and the weather was so great while we were there. We live in Texas, and the weather can be kind of unpredictable in October, and it was a bit up and down, but for the most part the weather was great, and I just had so much fun. I wish I could rewind time and spend my week out in nature again, because I was so relaxed and it was great. And if you watch some of my recent videos, you'll know that I haven't been having a great year. So it was really nice to just have a week off of work and relax and read. Alright guys, that is my reading vlog, my camping reading vlog. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye.